Today, we're going to crack open the marketing playbook of one of the most successful and deadly industries in history. Seriously, how did big tobacco convince over 1 billion people to start a habit they secretly knew was fatal? Let's dive in. Take a look at this number, 100 million. Just let that sink in for a moment. That's the estimated number of people killed by all the wars of the 20th century combined. It's a staggering, almost impossible figure to wrap your head around. Now look at this. It's the exact same number, 100 million, because that is also the approximate number of people killed by tobacco in that very same century. War and tobacco, equal in their devastation. Which brings us to the central puzzle of this whole story. We all know the risks, right? So how is it that 11 million cigarettes are still sold every single minute? Well, the answer has absolutely nothing to do with the product itself, and everything to do with the image. And this really gets to the heart of the industry's success. See, it was never ever about selling a product. It was about selling a carefully crafted dream. I mean, think about it. Whether it was 100 years ago or today, at the end of the day, it's just dried up leaves in paper. The real genius was in constantly reinventing the identity of the smoker, making it something cool and aspirational for every new generation. And the perfect example of this? The Marlboro Man. Embodied by actor Wayne McLaren, he wasn't just some guy on a horse. He was the living, breathing icon of American masculinity, of freedom, of rugged cool. He made smoking look strong. But here is the gut-wrenching reality behind that perfect image. In 1976, McLaren became the face of the brand. Just 16 years later, after having one of his lungs removed, he died of lung cancer. The very symbol of health and strength was killed by the product he was paid to sell. So how did we even get here? To sell cigarettes on this kind of massive scale, the industry first had to literally invent the modern smoker. Everything changed in 1881 with this one invention, the automated rolling machine. Production just exploded. Before this thing, a really skilled worker could maybe roll, 4 cigarettes a minute? This new machine? 200. All of a sudden, companies were drowning in cigarettes, with one huge problem. Who was going to smoke them all? Then came their golden opportunity, World War I. Tobacco companies sent free cigarettes to soldiers overseas, marketing them as a way to relieve stress, a little piece of home, even a patriotic duty. And it worked, brilliantly. Millions of young men returned home with a brand new, powerful addiction, creating the first real mass market for cigarettes, and kicking off a national epidemic. But just as the industry was hitting its stride, it faced a bombshell, an existential threat, scientific proof that its product was a stone-cold killer. By 1950, the science was undeniable. Researchers like Richard Dahl proved the deadly link between smoking and lung cancer. The truth was out there for everyone to see. But instead of pulling their product, the companies pivoted. Their new mission? To sell doubt. Their first big move was to push filtered cigarettes as a safer alternative. But they ran into a branding problem. Back in the 50s, filters were seen as, for women. So they hired a top ad man who literally invented the Marlboro Man and other super masculine figures for one specific reason, to convince men it was okay to smoke the safer cigarette. And from there, the deception just got more and more absurd. Ads started using the authority of medicine itself, with slogans claiming thousands of doctors endorsed their brand as less irritating. They targeted women with these wild promises of health and beauty, famously telling them to reach for a lucky instead of a sweet to stay thin. The message was crystal clear. Smoking wasn't just safe, it was practically a wellness tool. Absolutely no one was off limits. They used sports stars, they had ads with babies in them, they even used Santa Claus and future presidents like Ronald Reagan to make their product seem normal, trustworthy, and completely harmless. Eventually, regulators caught on and they banned TV and radio ads. But if you think that stopped them, you'd be wrong. When the truth started to close in, the industry didn't stop advertising, it just got a whole lot smarter. They moved from out in the open to the shadows. All of a sudden, cigarette brands were everywhere in movies, and they started sponsoring high-profile sports. For 14 years, Marlboro sponsored the Ferrari Formula One team, paying them up to $100 million a year. And during that time, Marlboro's sales nearly doubled.
Then in 1995, the whole thing blew wide open. And the biggest blow came from an insider. A whistleblower named Jeffrey Wigand went public and revealed the companies weren't just aware of the dangers, they were actively engineering cigarettes with chemicals like ammonia to make them more addictive. The public outrage, as you can imagine, was immediate and immense.
This led to massive lawsuits and way stricter regulations. And for a while, it really seemed like the industry was finally in decline. But that old playbook that worked for a century, well, it was about to be dusted off for a new generation. Okay, take a look at the revenue of the world's biggest tobacco company, Philip Morris. After years of being kind of flat, something happens around 2017, and their profits just start to soar again. So what on earth could explain this dramatic turnaround? Well, the answer, of course, was a brand new product category: heated tobacco devices like IQOS and vapes, all marketed as a less harmful or safer alternative to smoking. Today, these products account for over a third of the company's entire revenue. And now, just look at the language. This is where it all comes full circle. The old ads sold you rugged independence and masculinity. The new ads for vapes and heated tobacco, they sell uniqueness and ambition. It's the exact same strategy. Don't sell the product, sell the identity. So we're left with this question, right? The technology is new, the faces in the ads are different, and the slogans have been updated for a modern audience. But when you look at the playbook from the last 100 years, you have to ask yourself, has the fundamental deception really changed at all?